What is up, you guys? This is Mini Superheroes Today. And man, oh man, is today an exciting review video, because today we're reviewing the LEGO 1989 Batwing set 76161. Now, this set retails for $200, has over 2,000 pieces in it, and as you can see, it's huge. I mean, there's my hand right next to it. I'm actually going to measure it here live on camera. It's about 24 inches wide, and let's see how long here. It's probably about the same, yeah. It's roughly about 20 inches long, so it's really incredible. This thing is absolutely massive. It probably weighs 4 or 5 pounds too. It's huge. Of course, you can see we do get a few minifigures here as well, so it is some really incredible stuff. I absolutely love the shape. That is just great. And like I said, this set is $200, so we're going to take a closer look and see if it's worth every penny of that $200 or if it falls a little bit short. We'll take a look at all of the details that this set has to offer, as well as the minifigs. Speaking of which, why don't we start there now? Now, for anybody on the fence about this set, the minifigures could seal the deal, or you might look at them and say, not quite worth it. So let's take a look at them and decide. So here we've got one of the Joker henchmen that really looks awesome. I love the glasses, but just like when the set was revealed, everybody's confused why it's not like the more iconic henchman Bob with the hat and everything. But he does have the boombox from the scene where they do the art raid, which is cool. He's got some arm printing there with some Joker cards. You got a Joker print there. But it's kind of interesting that that Joker print has hair, whereas both of the Jack Nicholson Jokers we've gotten wear hats. Just kind of interesting. But he is a really cool figure. Not one that's going to push most people over to buy this set, though. But the Keaton Batman is just fantastic. It's the same figure that came with the Batmobile, of course. If you lift up this rubbery cowl, he does have an alternative head on the back, as well as some back printing, but it's the exact same one. So for those of us that have both, it's honestly kind of a bummer because, like, you know, I don't know what they could have done differently, but at the same time, it's like now we have two of the exact same figure, you know, even if the cape was in a different, like, flowing pose or something, even that could have been cool, but we didn't get that. But what we do get here that, of course, is completely exclusive to this set is the Mime Joker from the Pen is Mightier Than the Sword scene, which is really cool, one of the earlier appearances of the Joker as the Joker in the film. You can see that he's got a cloth cape there that comes around. He's got some great printing on the legs. It's a great figure all around, but, you know, I could see why some people go nuts to have more 89 Batman figures, and I could see why others say, it's not different enough from the last offering, so I'll be curious to read the comments and hear what you guys think. But let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at what is exclusive to the set, and that is the set itself. Okay, so I actually have the build displayed backwards just because it's easier to show on camera displayed backwards, funny enough. So let's go ahead and take a look. We'll spin it around so you can see what I mean is when you display it like this, forward facing, where you see that plate underneath, it really doesn't look good on camera, but it does look great in person. You know, it just looks so flat on camera, but when you look at it this way and you can see that full bat shape, it's really incredible. Now, this set took me probably just shy of 6 hours to build the whole thing. It was an incredible build. Now, just lift it up here so you can see, I mean, it is just absolutely huge. So, why don't we go ahead and take a look at some of those closer details. Alright, so we're looking at the left side of the wing here, and speaking of the wing, you can see that there's this great technical build here to give it this rounded look. Of course, there are some cracks in it, but, you know, just the laws of physics of LEGO, if you will, would make it be that way. So if we come all the way up front here, you can see they put a little cheese wedge right here just for a little light there. And we're just taking a look at the edge here. It's a really sturdy build, you know, something that had me worried. Not necessarily worried. I mean, LEGO builds of this size are very rarely ever cheaply done or not thought through, but I did worry if it was going to be, like, you know, flimsy or whatnot, but it's really, really sturdy. So there's a really interesting build technique that goes in that right around here or somewhere, there are actually some rubber bands, and there's another one right around here somewhere that hold the whole piece together so it doesn't move and can't shimmy out of that bat shape. Kind of interesting. As far as play features go, I mean, because this isn't minifig scale, there really aren't any, like, flick fire missiles or anything like that, but these little flaps come up here, which of course would be like a directional thing. And there is one on the other side as we flip it over here, so just show you that. Not that you couldn't use your imagination for that by any stretch of the imagination, but no pun intended there either. These Batwings are on hinges, so these kind of move up and down, but they're designed to be right like that. It's not necessarily a play feature, but, you know, it is something that moves. Should point that out. Here we've got these big machine guns, which look really cool. They've got a great build. I'll actually pull it off there so you can see it up close. Let's get that in focus there. Yeah, this thing is really cool. So you can see that there are these alternating like 1x2 pieces that are rounded with holes in them that really just build that whole machine gun up together. That just goes right on there, and there is a hinge piece on that that tilts it down once again, so that is really cool. Over here we have some missiles or guns. They don't actually launch out or anything, they are just for show. And speaking of guns, when we look up front here, you can see that there are kind of like these machine gun builds right here. So I really like these because it's just this long tube with that Technic pin at the end there that make it look like a machine gun, and then of course that just slips right in there with that Technic piece there. So this front part was actually quite interesting to build, and like I said, there's just no good way to show it on the stand and on camera at the same time. I mean, I guess if I tilt it down like that, you could get a little better look, but it was really interesting to build this because it's almost an inverted build, you know, it's building it like sideways and things like that. There are a lot of fun things about this build that I honestly kind of don't want to spoil, because had I watched a review and, you know, had those things spoiled for me, I don't think I would have had as much fun with the build. But, you know, if you guys have specific questions or anything, of course, I'm always happy to answer those. Back here, we have these, like, bat wings that are kind of, like, every othered, if you will. So there's some space there that gives it a nice depth perception that I really like. That's very cool. And then I want to show you guys the underside of this, too. But before we do that, let's adjust the camera and take a look at the cockpit area. Alright, so we've got an aerial view at this point, and you can see the cockpit here has some really great translucent pieces, which of course look just like the movie, but aren't necessarily common Lego pieces by any stretch of the imagination. In any case, you just lift that right up, and you set that aside, and then you've got access to the inside here. So you can see that there are some stickers here. There are long stickers alongside these panels. That came loose, I guess. Some long stickers over here, some individual stickers right there and right here, and then there is a sticker right there. We'll adjust the camera here in just a moment, but, you know, while we've got the camera in this position, might as well show you. The seat adjusts, you know, if that matters to you. And then there's a bat engine sticker right there that lifts up, and then you have not one, but two crowbars. And when you're building it, that may not make sense, but if you take the crowbar and you lift up this piece here, you can actually see inside underneath the seat, this is where your nail or screw would go if you wanted to display this on the wall. So you could take this piece off so that you get a, you know, visual line of sight through the whole thing, so you could hook it on there and not have to play any guessing games. So this piece just goes right on there, and it is very difficult to get out, so you're going to want to make sure you don't lose these. I suspect that's why they give you two. You just use that crowbar and lift that up. It comes out very easily, and it goes back in very easily, but those crowbars are definitely essential. Kind of crazy that, you know, a minifig scale accessory is so integral to the build here, but that is absolutely true. So let me move the camera so we can look at it from here, and you could just see the other angle. Alright, and here we are looking at the alternative angle for the interior of the cockpit. So you can see up close, these stickers really look great. They do look exactly like the 89 Batman, you know, just kind of the way that his computerized things look. You can actually move both of these gear shifts, so I assume that this is like an accelerator and this is like a directional thing. Honestly, not 100% sure. Probably doesn't matter that much. There's probably a Batman fan out there that can drop a comment and let me know. But I love that this piece right here has like a targeting computer on it. It looks really great. And having all the little switches and dial stickers on there just really makes this feel lived in, you know? Like when you're looking at homes, you want to say like, oh, your home feels lived in or whatever. I don't know. That's just what comes to mind for me with describing this. I think it's a really fantastic interior. And let's flip this over and look at the underside. Alright, so here we are looking at the stand in the underside of the ship. So you can see that there's a big road plate here that has a large sticker, which of course says Batwing 1989. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it does look very, very cool. And the display stand is incredibly sturdy, of course, with that Technic support around back that you can see. It's a very bulky stand build, too. It actually was kind of fun to build. I know that part is usually like the least exciting, but I actually had a lot of fun with that part as well. Like, you could almost put your figures on there if you wanted, or I don't know if you could come up with some extra accessories or something. But anyways, the stand portion is really, really cool, and I loved that part of the build. And I've got to say, this is probably one of the few LEGO sets that looks just as cool from the underneath as it does on the top. Okay, maybe not exactly as cool, but it is still a very cool look. Of course, you get that bat shape, indistinguishable, and you've got this, like, these little bat wings that flip up. So if you wanted to display it flat without the stand, you could do that, or you could push these down or to the side. I'm not exactly sure what the exact thing is there, but if we lift it up, you can see there's that little slot we looked at on the interior where the screw would go right in, and then this little 2x2 area in the center here is where you would put the stand. So let me grab that stand here. It was just out of reach. So if we grab that stand, you can see that this piece is going to go right in there. Let gravity do the rest, or not, because we're causing an avalanche here. So we'll put that in there. Put this right here, boom, boom, and boom. So there we go, we are back to the start. So let's zoom out and I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this set. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring this review to a close. Needless to say, this set is an absolute behemoth, and I definitely plan to make some more content around it and the figures and all of that, so stay tuned and be sure to hit like and subscribe for that. But the question is this worth $200? Honestly, guys, I feel like this is one of those ones that will make a great birthday gift or a Christmas gift to ask for, but $200 is a lot of money, especially when it comes to LEGO, and I don't like this as much as I liked the Batmobile. Both are great sets, but I think the Batmobile is just a certain percentage better, so if you had to pick between the two, I would go for the Batmobile, but by all means, if you have the Batmobile or something, maybe put this on a birthday or Christmas list or graduation gift or something like that, because it is absolutely awesome. So, thanks for sticking around for this review, guys. I will see you guys on the next video, and until next time, build on. If you liked what you saw and you liked what you heard, feel free to click that subscribe button for more LEGO content coming in the near future. So, thanks for tuning in to today's video, and until next time, build on.